Hey guys, it's Sugar. I'm here with my husband Jeff.
Hello.
And we thought we'd make a quick podcast basically talking about the wrap up of Gaku and Babysitters.
It's adorable.
It was so good. Like, I gave it a 9, Jeff gave it a 9. I can see it easily. I shouldn't say easily because we're not sure what's going to happen this year, but I can see it being when we think of our top 10 by the end of the year, it will be on my mind of being like, will it be up there? I really enjoyed it. I made a kind of preemptive video about it, basically about a boy, I shouldn't say a boy, a teenager who loses his parents, and therefore he has the responsibility of taking on the care of his younger brother, who is a couple of years old. And basically the chairwoman of a school takes them in, and they live with her and her butler. And when he goes to school, he's in school, but anytime he's not in class or he has free time, he goes to the babysitting club that's in the school, takes care of his brother and the other kids there.
Yeah, the other kids of teachers, basically.
Yeah, basically of the people who go to school there. So most of them are teachers, some are just, helping around in the school and so forth, but each one of them kind of has their own personalities, and it really is a good display. Like we've said it before tons of times, Jeff and I are teachers, and it really, really nails what having the kids those ages are. Like,
yeah, they did
just
an excellent
nails
job.
it.
I was kind of shocked when I was watching it. I was like, this is how kids act.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the mangaka and some of the people behind the scenes with it all ran this sort of a, if not a babysitter's club, something where they take care of kids a lot, because they hit everything really well.
Yeah, like it seems
the
like
way that they'll fight and then immediately forgive each other, or they'll fight over the stupidest little things, or they'll love each other's company and push each other away, and just all the little things that they'll go through.
Like I remember avidly, one of the favorite child of mine in the show is Kieran, and she is so adorable. She has black hair, loves giraffes, and one episode where she believes that she has the ability, that she can acquire the ability to fly, really tugged at my heartstrings, because I remember being younger and having that optimism that all these things were possible if I just tried hard enough, and it was just strung me hard. I was like, oh, I know it won't happen for her, but I understand that feeling.
Yeah, the other thing that I really like about the show is that it doesn't just focus on the cute children. It focuses on all the different family dynamics that are at play. Some of the families, one of them, the dad happens to be really, really famous, and so it kind of delves into how difficult it is for him just to kind of I just want to spend some time with my kids, but now I've got a million people who are following me. I get hounded constantly. I don't even know if my kids even really want to see me because they watch me in movies all the time anyways.
That's the thing. He's I'm gone for months at a time. I don't know if they notice me, if what I look like, because I look different, sort of thing. We have parents that are away on archaeological digs and come back, and other ones that are just kind of active parents. Other ones that are super one of the kids, Kieran's dad is super protective of her and doesn't want the other boys to be near her because it kind of tamed her innocence in the sense of being
and they're
sweet.
What, 3
they're
to 4
a couple years old. And it's so funny. And there's the odd character that you kind of go why was he put in there, the one that likes kids a little too much. I'm glad they don't overutilize him.
Not in a gross way.
No. But I mean,
they're
he gets
so adorable. He kind of gets fixated on children.
He gets so into it. He thinks they're so adorable. He gets nosebleeds, but that can be misinterpreted in a wrong way. That's why I was I wish they would have just pulled out that character altogether. But I was
that could be a Japanese culture thing that we don't get.
What?
In terms of because most of the time the nosebleeds that we see in anime have to do with perversion, whereas maybe it's just excitement, oh my god, you're so adorable.
Well, yeah, that's usually what it is, but I mean, some people can misconstrue it, especially with kids, that it means something else. But anyways, really good show. I really enjoyed it. I really liked all the characters. There are some emotional moments where you did tear up, because you have to understand that you're dealing with people who have lost their parents. You're dealing with other people who deal with other difficulties, and it's a lot of kind of a little bit of an emotional ride, but mostly upbeat. There are only a couple times where you're wow, that hit really hard. The first episode surprisingly made me cry. And
it was...
the rest were pretty smooth sailing. There are the emotional, like, tug of the heartstrings. There's really good episodes. Not just like sitting in a babysitting club. It's like they go to the zoo, they go to the ocean, they go and do all these things with the parents and like all these cute things, and it's really fun, and it's very honest about how kids really are and their behaviors and their mentality. And
that was one of my favorite. Was the two kind of female characters who are most a part of it, and like, you know, one of them,
he's talking about like teenagers.
One of them, she kind of adores kids, but is also trying to put on this serious, like, school means serious business demeanor. So she tries to like find excuses essentially to come in and be in there with the kids.
It's like, oh, well, I had extra stuff in home ec, so I happened to bring it over, sort of thing.
Yeah. And then the other one who really loves the main character a lot, but then she's like, I hate kids. Kids are like gross. They do gross things, and I don't think he would like me if he knew I felt that way. And then like at the end of an episode about them, he's like, Ryu-chan is like, yeah, it's gross. Like, they put their boogers all over you, and they cry all over you, and they sometimes pee their pants. Like,
you just come to terms with it,
I'm not okay with it. It just comes with the territory.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect you to be cool with somebody grabbing bugs and throwing them in your face and having their boogers all over your face and stuff like that. It's like, and that's how some people are when it comes to kids. You know, it's like they see a kid and it's like, oh, you're adorable, unless you're the half the time when you're doing the gross stuff that is like, I'm just gonna put you away now. And like a whole lot of secondary characters, and all of them were really
very enjoyable.
And I also liked the different dynamics they showed with siblings, where they've got two brothers who
are a little more violent.
And I mean, some brothers are like that. I know some friends of mine I grew up with, they were brothers. They were like about a year and a half apart, but like they would seriously fight each other. I was like, oh my god, my brother never did anything like that.
My brother and I did.
And then, of course, with our two leads, because essentially Ryu is kind of taking almost a fatherly role with Kotaro, they have a much different dynamic, where in the most recent episode, to end the season, Ryu-chan leaves to go hang out with his friends, something that he can't take Kotaro to, and he feels guilty. He's like, should I just go out and do something on my own? And then that's nice when, you know, the chairwoman is like, well, no, you have to go be a kid.
Yeah.
You're not a father. Be a kid.
Yeah, and it's not like a fairy tale where like the chairwoman's this evil person and all this stuff. It's like a legitimately nice person who's also dealt with loss and is also recovering herself. And it's a really, really nice story. And I browsed through the manga. There's tons of material, so I'm hoping...
this could go on forever.
I'm hoping there's a second season, but there's no hint of it at the end of the first season here. There's no news, as far as I'm aware, that there's a second season. But it's very episodic.
Oh, yeah.
So
even like, the episodes are cut into two, basically. Like, it's even episodic within the episodes themselves.
Yeah.
This final episode had two completely different stories.
Yeah, some of them are like one complete story where a story needs to be told. Like
first episode,
like the flying one, like I was telling you about. It was very like sincere. Then other ones are like, hey, here's a bunch of like little events that are important, but just kind of happened. And yeah, looking through the manga, there's tons of material. So I'm hoping there's a second season, because this was really good. We watched the subbed, obviously, because the dub I don't know if there's a dub at this point, but anyways,
Not yet, I don't think.
The sub is really good, very enjoyable. They really understand like the characters and what their personalities are. Yeah, it was really good.
Before you had started the channel, I wasn't the biggest fan of like slice of life, and I always say it has to bring something unique for me to get into it. And I feel like this one kind of hits the nail on the head with the uniqueness, where it's just like, oh, okay, it's about babysitting, but it's not really about babysitting. It's about family dynamics and all sorts of little things, and you know, the kind of stories that parents tell about their kids. You know, it's some of them are, oh, you know, he got his head stuck in the banister or something like that, and other times it's, you know, oh, she loves giraffes and she saw her first actual giraffe and she just exploded with laughter and giggles, and oh, they were fighting about the stupidest thing about whether or not a person can fly. Like, yeah, that's kids.
And that's the thing, I wasn't sure going into this, because obviously one of those times again where I saw the poster and it's like all little kids are plastered all over it, And I was like, oh, of course it's all guys. And I'm like, well, I was like, I don't know what that means. Like, are they just going to lean heavily into the cuteness of the guys and the babies? Like, is that all it's going to be? I was like, will there actually be quality? And then I talked to a friend of mine who, obviously, I'm more anime, she's more manga. And they're like, oh, it's really, really good. And I said, okay. So I watched the first episode. And the first episode is a clincher. Like, I want to talk about an episode that tells you that it's going to be good. Mm-hmm. This is it. Yeah, I find it very insightful, very honest. Nothing fantastical or anything out of the ordinary in the sense of it being a stretch. It's very much about life, about kids, about having kids, and sometimes unknowingly having to take on the responsibility of having a child and what that means to your life, to your friendships, to other things. And it's really, really fun. I like the characters. All of them are very different. All of them have different kind of things on the go, and it's very funny.
And it's very aware of how unique Ryuichi's situation is, because all the students that surround him, they're like, oh, you have to take care of him so much, and all you think about is your younger brother, and why can't you just head out and do this and that? And he's like,
because he's my responsibility.
I can't.
Yeah.
He's, I don't even know how old he is, 14, 15, and he's 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. He's around complete strangers. He has no idea who any of these people are. It's my responsibility right now to be there for him. And then it's nice to see other characters come in and remind him, you also have to be responsible to yourself and what it means to be 15 years old. I don't know if that's his age for sure or not, but it does a really good job of balancing all of that, where characters are aware of the fact that he's taking on a little bit too much. He's taking it too seriously, and he's treating his kid brother like, oh, I have to treat him like he's on eggshells, and I can't ever do anything that would ever make him upset. And then they're like, well, no, you can't just shelter him from all of real life. Sometimes he will be upset. Sometimes you will have to go and leave him on his own. He's going to have to be okay with that. You are going to have to be okay with trusting other people to be able to take care of him. That was the butler character towards the end starts having to kind of take care of the kids here and there a little bit, because Ryuichi is still in school. He has to go to school.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that he's like, you also have a social life. This isn't your sole job now to be a parent. We took you in for a reason.
You're an older brother.
Yeah. It's it's good that you take responsibility, but you also have to have a life too, or it's going to drive you crazy.
Which is why it's nice to juxtapose him with his best friend, who literally kind of sees his kid brother this kid's like a leech. He's not a very good child. All he does is bug me.
Hayato.
He bit him. His kid brother bit him because he wanted to go to the movies without him. Sometimes that's how brothers are.
Yeah.
It was really neat. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
More than I would have thought.
Yeah, exactly. It was really good. So, yeah. Anything else you want to add?
I don't know if there's much else to add.
Yeah.
I would say that don't be if you're not a fan of little kids, I'd say don't be turned off by the content, because the content isn't just about this is the lives of these 5 little kids. It's more Ryuichi's story and kind of his life. And it just happens that it revolves largely around his kid brother. Mm-hmm. So if you're like, I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of kids, watch this. The kids will still make you laugh, or be like, yeah, that's how some kids are, stupid kids.
Yeah.
It's very good that way. Some kids do stupid things. The kids aren't stupid; they do stupid things because
they don't have the cognitive abilities yet.
Yeah, exactly. And and I feel like some anime will get by with having flashy visuals, great music, all that sort of stuff. This totally is just about really good performances and really good stories about this newfound family unit.
Yeah. The colors are very nice, too. It leans more towards the pastels. Yeah. And it's very, nice to watch. It's very pleasant. Lots of laughs several times where you don't expect it, and things that you can honestly relate to, whether you've babysat or you have kids or you have siblings. I can
daycare, yeah.
I totally understand all the stuff that's happening. It's so honest. It's nothing that's crazy. It's literally what kids are like. So if it's up your alley, give it a go. I totally recommend it, and I'd say Jeff does too.
9 out of 10. I don't give something a 9 if I don't feel it's warranted. So
yeah. So let us know what you think. Let us know if you're going to watch it. But until next time, we'll see you later.